Hi everyone, my name is Charmaine. If you're new here, hello. If you're not, hi bestie. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to a new video. This one's a little bit personal, this one's a little bit chatty. It's been a hot minute. I will put in a disclaimer though. I have a script for this video so that I don't veer off path, because we all know my ADHD will have me speaking sentences that start here and just... Okay. So if you see me looking off into the distance, just know I'm trying to keep myself on track. Otherwise this video would be like 5 hours long, and then what must happen? Okay, so context for the video as well. I am turning 30 in a few weeks. I know, how did we get here? How did I survive and thrive 3 decades, my guys? 3 decades. Do you know that's a long time to be alive? Okay, I know people have been alive longer than me, okay, I know it, but 3 decades? That's a lot. So yeah, I wanted to share a video about the lessons I've learned, the things that I'm still learning, the things that I'm hoping for my 30s, and I'm just really excited. And another disclaimer is, I used to be so scared of turning 30. Like, I don't understand what it was. I don't know where I got the pressure, because no one in my family is like this. There's no one in my friendship group that was like this. I think no, there's no one like that. But maybe it's just the external societal pressure. But I always thought at 30 I had to have my life together. I had to know where I was living. I had to have a house. I had to have children. Like, there was a list that I had to meet before 30. And then when I was turning 27, 28, 29, I was like, yo, that pressure is getting worse. I was getting nervous. I was like, ugh. Something happened around like late 29, which I guess is now, but like, you know, late-ish 29, early-ish, late-ish, you know, time's a concept for me. Anyway, so something started happening where I was like, nah, guys, this is too much pressure. I need to reframe how I feel about this, what I think about this age, because I truly believe that I am at my prime right now. And it's not like a like, I'm not trying to make myself feel better. It's not a thing of making myself feel better. It's not a thing of like, oh no, it's okay that you haven't done this at 30, but you know, you just... It's not even that. Like, there's something about this age and this time where I feel so content in who I am and what I want and what I want to do. And I do have questions, I don't have everything figured out, but I feel okay with that. And when I reached that moment, oh, I'm getting emotional. When I reached that moment, it was actually really inspirational to myself and very pivotal to my journey, where I felt very little pressure about turning 30. I felt very little pressure about turning older. I think a lot of all that weight that I'd somehow gotten from some weird societal pressure just dropped, and there was something inside of me that was able to be gentle and kind and say, hey, look at how much you've done from all the circumstances. I know I joked earlier and I said I can't believe I've survived, or maybe I didn't, I don't remember. I can't believe I've survived 3 decades, but I think there's so much that has happened that was so deeply personal and impactful for me that I'm glad I got to the pivotal point of letting go of that pressure and wanting to really enjoy and feel empowered at the age that I am, because I have gone through a lot and I have achieved a lot that may not look like everyone else's achievements or what society would deem as amazing achievements. Let me just gather myself. What things that would not look like societal achievements. And so I'm really proud of myself, and I hope this video is something that will be helpful for someone who's younger or older or wherever you are in age, to learn something, or not even learn something, to take something away, or to be inspired, or to feel proud of yourself, or just as a way for me to be able to have this video and reflect back on when I get older. And you know, when I'm wiser and I look back and think, oh, cute, or I don't know what I think, but yeah. So let's get started. I'll start it off light. First thing, or the first episode, or the first section of this video that I want to talk about is things that I'm really glad I did in my 20s, because wow, they have really changed the way I view the world and the way I view myself. That was going to university. But firstly, I know university is not for everyone, and so this is a deeply personal self-reflection, and I'm really glad I went to university because I was so scared of going. I did not believe I was smart enough. I did not believe I was good enough. I didn't believe I was articulate enough. And so for me, university was the thing that I was really trying to avoid. And I remember having a conversation with family members and friends, and they were really like, you need to do this, you need to go. And I was like, yeah, sure. But deep down I was so crippled by fear, so crippled by that feeling of I'm not good enough to do this. I should not be able to have access to do this. I don't deserve to do this. And I remember when I got in to UCT, shout out, it was such a pivotal moment because there was something inside of me in that moment when I got my acceptance letter that said, you are good enough for this, you can do this. And obviously, like going through university, I still had to fight through a lot of, I don't deserve to be in this space, I don't feel good enough to be in this space, I'm not sure if I can do this, and putting a lot of pressure on myself. But then also living with like the significance of, I thought I couldn't do something and I did it, and I get to live in this like, not glory, that sounds like a really weird word, but I get to live in this like amazingness of, I am doing this, I get to do this, and I am here, and I have access, and I have people and friends and a community around me that was gathering around me and like encouraging me and telling me, you got this, you got this, you got this. So that was really cool. And obviously university, you have like diverse experiences, diverse people, so I really feel like I opened up even more to learning about different types of people from all over the world, from all over my country even, learning how people operate, learning how certain cultures do certain things. And so I think it was an amazing opportunity for me because it opened me up to so much more, so many human beings, where I was like, I love people. I mean, I studied psychology, so obviously I love people so much. I love different cultures, I love learning about them, I love listening to people. And so I think it was such an opportunity for me to dive deeper into that, to learn more about different types of human beings, to learn more about different cultures, how things work in different countries, how, you know, in different families and different systems. And so that was really an amazing experience for me. And it taught me that in order for me to grow, and I was young, you know, we're like 19, 20, so it taught me that in order for me to grow, I need to put myself out of my comfort zone, or something that was out of my comfort zone. It taught me that for me to grow as a human being, I need to expose myself to different thoughts, to different people, to different cultures, to different environments. And it taught me to look at my insecurities and to say, you know what, it's valid that I'm feeling you, it's valid that this is inside of me, but it will not dictate who I am. Because if I had allowed my insecurities to dictate who I am and to dictate my decisions, I would not be where I am today, and I would not be who I am today. I did not think this video would make me this emotional, but that was just a general, profound lesson I learned about going to university, is that don't let your insecurities dictate your decisions. Don't let them dictate who you are, because you're so much more than you think you are. You're so much more capable than you think you are. So I'm really glad I went to university, because those insecurities, I looked them in their face, I said, shut up, you hear me, you shut up too. Sorry. Next thing, I kind of covered this with university, was being friends with people from diverse areas, diverse cultures, diverse races. Yeah, it really helped. It taught me a lot about different types of people, obviously, and it taught me a lot about different cultures, and I think it really ignited my desire to travel different parts of the world and to learn about different types of people, and to really just embrace human beings for who they are. So I'm really glad that I had opportunities to meet different types of people and to really enjoy who they were and who they are and who they wanted to be. So expose yourself to different types of people, guys. It's not that hard. It's literally not that. You don't even need to go to university for that. Just expose yourself to different types of people, learn about different cultures, respect the different cultures, enjoy different types of people, whatever they look like, whatever they choose to be, whatever. Humans are humans and we should love them, except if they're trash. Like if people are objectively trash, that's okay. So and the next thing I want to talk about is places or things or people that I left. The type of people and places and things that I left, and I'm glad that I left. I think there's a lot of times in our society where loyalty is valuable and the times where loyalty is harmful. Many times from my early 20s to now where I've learned that me being loyal to this person, to this situation, to this thing is valuable and it's teaching me a good lesson. And then where I've learned that me being loyal to this person, to this thing, to this situation is harming me, is harming them, and I need to leave. And I need to be okay with leaving, because leaving doesn't mean that you're a quitter. Leaving doesn't mean that you're weak. Leaving doesn't mean that you don't know what you want. Sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself, sometimes the strongest you can be, is when you decide to look at something and you leave. Sometimes it's hard to leave with grace. Sometimes it's hard to leave with your dignity intact. Sometimes it's hard to leave relatively. But leaving is not weak. That's one thing I personally had to learn, was that me leaving a situation, leaving a friendship, leaving a relationship or whatever was not me being weak, especially when it was being harmful to my mental health, harmful to my physical health, harmful to who I am and my dreams and my desire. Like, I know there's that whole protect your peace, but guys, protect your peace. Obviously you have to do it in a healthy way, but protect your peace, because no one, nothing, no situation is worth ruining your mental health for. I'm sorry, I will die on that hill. No, just no. And so anyway, from context is from my early 20s till about now, obviously I've had to leave a lot of situations, and I do have regrets about how I left some situations, left some friendships, left some places, and then there are other situations where I have no regrets. You know that movie, what's it, Meet the Millers? No regrets. I got no regrets, babes. No regrets. And I had to learn to leave at a very early age from situations that did not serve me, from systems and people that were not good for my mental health, not kind to me, not good to me. And I think that look how I started my 20s, okay? I was in a family situation where all the good intentions in the world, I did not feel safe, I did not feel protected, I wanted out, and I was young, and I knew that I was young, and I knew that because I was young, and if I tried to leave, that the adults in my situation would be stronger personally, not physically or anything, so thank goodness, but just personality wise would be stronger than I was, and it would be a long battle. But I knew I had to do it. So that's how my early 20s started. Well, I was technically still a teenager, but anyway. I was still technically a teenager, but anyway. That's how it started. I was in a situation where I was not feeling safe, I was not feeling heard, I was not feeling loved. No matter how many times a conversation was had, I just still did not feel like I belonged, and I decided for myself that after time and time again, I wasn't the most mature about it, yet again I was 19, but I decided that this space does not feel normal for me, this space I do not understand, and I don't feel safe, and I understand that the intentions were pure, the intentions were kind, but I needed to go, and I needed to have the conversation And I had that conversation, and I was met with a lot of questions. I was met with raw emotions. I'll let you interpret that. With a lot of raw emotions that I feel now, and I still reflect on as a teenager. Those were very heavy things to put on a child, because I was still a child. And I had to stand in the face of that and make my decisions and say, this is who I am. This is the decision I'm making. I want to go. I'm not going to stay in this. Let me go. And that, I think, was a pivotal moment. That was a pivotal moment because it taught me to stand up for myself. It taught me to find my own voice. It taught me to know that whatever was in front of me wasn't going to be how my life was going to be the whole time. And so I had to make really hard decisions. I had to have really, really hard conversations for how young I was. I had to deal with betrayal. I had to deal with hurt. I had to deal with accusations. I had to deal with, you know, a lot of guilt. I had to deal with a lot of shame for doing what I did, for saying what I said. So a lot of things that were very heavy to deal with for how young I was. But I tried to deal with it with grace. I tried to be who I was and feel true to myself, even in a time where I was like, I don't know who I am. So that, I'm not gonna go any deeper, but that was definitely the start of realizing no matter how much I want to be a people pleaser, because girl, holy shit, it's still deep in me. No matter how much I want to people please, I am first. I matter. And as a people pleaser, that sounds so selfish, and it comes off so selfish, and it's so difficult because you're like, it's weird to say I am first, because as a people pleaser, your whole thing is this other person goes before me, this person needs this person needs to do this, I need to help this person, I need to forget about me and help this person. And I'm really glad that that was a pivotal moment at a very young age, where even though my whole belief system was that I need to make sure this person's okay, I need to make sure I please this person, I need to make sure I do this for this person, I don't really matter that much, it doesn't matter what I feel, it's okay that they're doing this. I had to tell myself, I matter, I'm important in this situation, I need to do what I feel like is good for me, not what's good for the other person, no matter if they're my parental figure or foster figure or older than me. I need to do what is right for me and my mental health at that time, you know. Sometimes also, wait, people also leave you, but I have moments where I'm so glad that people left me and told me why they left me. And I have friends that I still deeply regret to this day for how I treated them, and I didn't even know or care enough to know that I was treating them this way. But I'm really glad that they spoke to me, that they told me how I was being, that they told me why they decided to leave, why this was their decision. And in the moment it was painful. It was like I had to look into myself. I had to look at myself. I had to be really reflective about, okay, wow, I'm not this perfect person that I'm pretending to be. I am, in that time I was very toxic, in that time I was harmful, in that time I was manipulative. And hearing about my behavior, getting that feedback was actually so helpful to me, because then I could have the space to apologize. I had the space to work on myself. I had the space to really reflect and think deep and be like, wow, I really be doing some shit, yo. And that needs to change, because I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the reason that someone is hurt. I don't want to be the reason that someone feels pain. I don't want to be the reason that someone is uncomfortable. And really truly look into myself and grow and be a better person. And I think that kind of ties into another lesson of feedback is important. How the hell are you gonna grow if you don't know? I'm kidding. How are you gonna grow if you don't know? And so I think even in my 20s, early 20s, mid 20s, it was so hard to hear things like that about myself, because I was trying so hard to be a good person. I was trying so hard to people please everyone. But in all of those actions, I was being hurtful, I was being harmful and toxic and manipulative. And if I did not get given that feedback, I would still be in the same cycles. I would still be doing those type of things. And now, because I know that that's what I was doing, that's how I was, I had to make the conscious decision that I don't want to be that person. I don't want to make my friends feel that way. I don't want to make my closest people hurt that way. And so I'm just decision to no longer be that person, to no longer do those things. And so I really had to self-evaluate and really reflect and put in systems for my behavior to change, for how I communicate to change, for how I think about things, how I say things to change. And that has been amazing, and it really taught me the value of effective communication and feedback in friendships and relationships. So yeah, that was one thing I'm glad I did, was to leave spaces, experiences, people, relationships that weren't serving me, but also to learn why people were leaving me and what I needed to do to be a better person, to be a better friend, and that it was okay that they left me. And I was able to apologize and hopefully bring some sort of healing to them and bring healing to myself. And then another well, I'm nervous for this one. Another space or thing that I'm really glad that I left was the church. And when I say that with the utmost respect, because I got no disrespect for the church. So I'm just putting it out there. But I think it was a space that at the time, it was so helpful for me, and it was a space that I needed and the community that I needed at the time in my early 20s. And the more I progressed in my views, the more I progressed in my thoughts, the more I progressed in my personality and got to know myself, got to kind of understand a few things about myself, the more I realized that it wasn't for me. And so I still have reverence and respect for God and for churches that are doing good things. But anyway, but I no longer really truly affiliate myself with that. And without going into too much detail, human beings are human beings, so things happen, but there are situations and moments that I look at and I think I don't want to be part of that, so I'm out. But that's a space I'm glad I left for my own personal journey. And so yeah, I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but it's just a space I'm glad that I left. And I know there's a lot of people who have a lot of stories to share about why they leave that certain space, and let's just say I agree with them. And I think, without me standing here on my little soapbox, it's a space that was no longer a space I wanted to be in. And I'm really glad that I had the bravery to leave, and I'm still hoping that I'll have the bravery to fully articulate myself and why it's a decision I made, and to be comfortable. But for now, it's still something I need to grow on and to feel confident in. But in a nutshell, I'm glad I left. But now I also need to see what else. I don't want to miss out on anything. Let me check my script. The next thing we're talking about is regrets. Okay, so my next thing in my life lessons of 30 is I regret being a people pleaser. I touched on this a little bit, but I feel like people pleasing took away so much of my personality. It took away so much of who I was, so much of what I wanted. And when I say regret, it's not like I'm going to sleep crying every night, and like I'm not going to be on my deathbed being like, oh, I should have never people pleased. I just think it's one of those things when you reflect back on your 20s and you look at things that you did and you're like, yo, hectic, eh? So hectic, I should not have done that. But definitely people pleasing is something that I regret, but obviously I've learned from it, so I'm able to move forward. But it took away so much of who I wanted to be, so much of my personality. And I think in my like super late 20s, 27, 28, 29 is when I fully was like diving into, you know what, I'm gonna have to do really hard things as a people pleaser and say no and set boundaries and be who I am. Be okay if someone doesn't like my boundaries, be okay if someone doesn't like my no, and you know, to be brave in the face of all of that. If you are a people pleaser and you're in your 20s, it's a long journey, it's a hard journey, but put yourself first. Just for one day, have a day of saying no. Just, you know, because as a people pleaser, there's always that little instinct, there's always that little, it's there. Something will happen and the first thing your gut will say no, but then your brain's like, no, are you sure? Are you sure? No, you want to say yes. Of course you want to say yes. You better say yes. But you know it's there. It's there. It's the first thing. It's like your body, your gut, your spirit, your everything says no. You know what you need to do? You need to hear that no, and you need it to just resonate with everything inside of you. And then, oh, no thank you. Look, I'm making it sound easy, but it's not. So yeah, definitely one thing I regret is people pleasing, but I am grateful that I've learned a lot of ways to honor myself, to honor my boundaries, to honor my no, and to be okay with it. And sometimes it's hard, but you know, many people have told me no and I haven't died, so who's gonna die if I tell them no? Another regret is not knowing about my ADHD earlier, but also I don't blame myself. Also, I should say my regrets are not me blaming myself, by the way. Anyway, not knowing earlier about my ADHD, I think a lot of not knowing that my symptoms were ADHD led to a lot of anxiety and depression and harmful behaviors when I was younger. And I genuinely do feel if I had known earlier, I would have been able to take care of my mental health better, to take care of myself better, to put myself in better situations and better environments. But you know, I'm really glad that 28-year-old me, 29-year-old me had a moment where but you know what, I'm really glad that in my late 20s, I think it was 28 or 29 when I got diagnosed, that I found what I found, information that I found. I did the research, I found professional help, and I was able to get a lot of answers to my questions. And so my advice would be, if you do think you have some sort of condition, or you know, you're curious about what's happening with you or to you, is if you have the access, because I know a lot of us don't have the access, but if you have the access, is to find professional help, is to, even if it's not a diagnosis and you just want to find therapy, is to find therapy, and to find spaces that are safe for you to have these moments, to communicate with someone how you feel, and to find a community where people will truly respect you and how you're feeling and what you're thinking, and will respect you in your journey, whether that's, you know, you do get a diagnosis and the steps after that. So yeah, if you have access to that, then I would definitely advise you to do so. And if you don't have access to that, I would advise you to listen to yourself, take care of yourself, research about how to take care of yourself, and really it sounds really weird, but don't gaslight yourself. Just to really, don't gaslight yourself, and take care of who you are. You take care of your mental health, whatever that looks like. And if you need people around you, gather those people around you, gather people that are safe spaces, and make sure that you're gonna be okay at the end of the day, because you're valuable, you're important, we need you here, and you have so much to give, you have so much purpose, you have so much we want to see and know. So make sure you find people that make you feel good, that make you feel safe, and that, you know, are there for you. Okay, bestie? So those are my two things. And then the last one, my hopes for my 30s. I am really hoping to really dive deeper into who I am and enjoying who I am, and I think I've worked very hard over the past few years to truly love who I am. And like I said, with the ADHD thing, I feel like now knowing the diagnosis, it makes so much sense, and it makes me feel like I know myself in a much deeper level. And so I just want to really dive deeper into that and really enjoy that. I want to try different things. I want to try new things. I want to experiment with my style more. I feel like in my early 20s I was so experimental with my outfits and my style, and then somewhere in the middle I became very like, oh no, I must care what people think of me. Vibes. And then towards my late 20s, and now I'm kind of like, I don't care. I want to go back to that girl when she was 21 wearing random things from the thrift store, and experimenting and having fun with her outfits. And so I think I really want to dive deeper into that. I want to try random things. Like, guys, I want to try DJing. Why can't I? Why can't I just in my room? Like, I want to try. And I think I want to slow down my life. I think in my 20s I was so like, go, do this, go there, yeah, go to this, blah, 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 like frantic. And I think that was partly because of the ADHD, but anyway. And now I think because I know about the ADHD and because I know of how I operate and how I move, I want to slow down. I want to be present. I want to take in the environment around me, take in the spaces around me, and really truly just appreciate the things around me, the people around me, the experiences I've had, the experience I'm about to have, and really take it all in. I have never been more grateful for life than I am right now. Like I said, I never thought that I would make it to 30. I don't know if I actually said that, but I never thought I would make it to 30. I think with a undiagnosed ADHD, I struggled a lot with depression and anxiety, and I really never thought I'd make it this far. And I'm really grateful I have. Because I thought this was gonna be like a cuckoo kaga. I thought it was gonna be all cuckoo kaga for this video, but no, it's kidding me. But I never thought I'd make it this far, and I'm really grateful I have, and I want to make it even further. Yeah, I want to make it even further and enjoy more and see more and do more and love more. And I think with my ending, with the way to end this whole outro, this is, if you're in your 20s, I know it's a very confusing time, it's a very busy time, it's a very exciting time. There's a lot happening, there's so much going on, there's so much you want to do, there's so much you want to feel, etc, etc. I do think that you do you. It sounds like the most random advice, but do what makes you happy. Be aware of who you are and what you want and what you feel, and honor that and respect that and value that, and put yourself first if you're a people pleaser. Have hard conversations, have respectful conversations, love yourself enough to leave situations that are not good for you, that are harmful towards you. Surround yourself with people that truly care for you, and enjoy as much as you can. Learn as much as you can, grow as much as you can. And it's all different for us, right? Like, I don't have a set formula, I don't have a set list of this is what you need to do to grow, but figure what that means for you and grow and just love life. It goes by quickly, it truly does. Now I understand what people meant when they said life is quick, life is fast. It goes by quickly, but find moments to enjoy it, find moments to learn and to grow, and be the best version of who you are for yourself before you do it for others. But really love yourself, enjoy yourself, have so much fun with yourself, have so much fun with other people, expose yourself to so many different human beings. It's amazing, it's fun. Go to different countries if you have the privilege and the access to do that. Try. Just try. But yeah, let me get off my lecture box now. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you were inspired. I hope you got something from it today, and if you didn't, that's okay. And thank you so much for listening to me ramble and chat, and I will see you in the next one. I love you so much, and remember, you're important, you're valuable, you're loved, and we need you in this world. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like more videos like this, please let me know, but please don't forget to like and subscribe. It would be so helpful for me. And again, thank you for being here. I love you.